Hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. No, Thursday. Welcome to my Thursday afternoon, Thursday lunchtime live Stampin. My name's Stacey Marsh and I am a demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK if this is your first time watching, and a very happy hello to all my regulars. So it's been a little while since I've shared a video with you all. I've had a couple of busy work weeks and I am looking forward to sharing something new with you today. It's beautiful here. Can you see that sunshine? Look at that beautiful sunshine. It's got near over 30 degrees this week a couple of times, which is unheard of here in the UK, but it's been really nice to see the sun and wear my summer wardrobe and just enjoy the garden and being outdoors. So I am going to make a start with you all today. I've got something brand new to show you and I'm going to spend about half an hour, 40 minutes with you all. Do feel free to pop your comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll try and keep up with your comments. If you have any questions about anything I'm using, pop them in and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And if you're watching on replay, still pop your comments on and I will get a notification for that. As always, anything that I use today is available to purchase from my online store and you can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. There is a shopping code that's linked at the bottom of this screen for the month of June. If you're watching in any other month, there's a link in the description of the video that you can grab the code for this particular month. So let's make a little start. I'm going to switch cameras over to my desk and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing rather than see me. So let's move over to that desk. Okay, I've got a brand new clean sheet of grid paper, which is always very exciting. And I am going to be using today this little stamp set, Let's Go Shopping. So Let's Go Shopping stamp set is from a suite of products that's brand new in the catalogue. It's called Les Shops. And there's some gorgeous designer series papers, a lovely stamp set, some dies and some sequins that form part of the suite. It's a really, really nice polymer stamp set. Lots of different options there for sentiments. You've got good luck, you're such a sweet treat, happy birthday, wish you were here, hello, and let's get together. So nice versatile set. A few people have commented to me, I really love it, but I don't know what to do with it. So I'm hoping to be able to share a little bit of my inspiration with this suite with you all today. You'll find it on page 30 of the annual catalogue. And the suite costs £63 for the stamps, dies, papers and sequins. Or, of course, you can buy the individual pieces on their own. I'll show you a little sneak peek of this month's card class, which is what started me off making this, using this suite. So this month's card class cards, they're largely based around the designer series papers. I offer postal kits so people can complete them at home. Of course, people can buy the stamps and dies that go with them, but I also like to put them together so they can be created just from the papers. So this here, we've got a little, I don't know what the phrase is called. I think is it a book card? I can't remember. But there's a nice little add-on piece of DSP here, and you've got a nice scenery in the background. The next one I wanted to showcase the other side of the patterned paper. So on one side you've got, and I'll show you them now actually. On one side of the papers you have these lovely large patterns and the houses and shops. And on the other side, you've got these really lovely versatile patterns that you can do lots with. So this is just showcasing a bit of the papers together and starting to use some of the dies. And here we have this one. This is a take on Patty Bennett's 2468 card, and I've just altered it ever so slightly for the UK market. And this is using the ice creams. I'm looking forward to sharing that one. And the other two, I can't show you because they're not yet finished. And the class is only on Monday. But here's a little sneak peek of what one of them looks like. I'll just do this. Love it. Okay, so those are my cards, and that's been playing with the designer series papers. I haven't really had too much of a play with the stamp set, so that's what I'm going to focus on in this particular live stamping session. And what I really like about this stamp set is it's great for colouring, and in the designs that are shown, nothing's been coloured in. They are either used the designer series papers, or they've just been used with some monochrome stamping. So I may do some colouring, I may not, but we'll see where the live takes us, shall we? So let's start by inking up our stamp, shall we? A little bit of chocolate there on my grid paper. I had a little bit of chocolate fuel before I started today. So let's make a really simple card to get us started, shall we? So I'm going to give myself a layer of white card that is going to be 10 by 14.4. Okay. Whenever I get a new stamp set, I always start with just stamping images. It's the best way for me to see what the stamp feels like, to see how it stamps, and just get those creative juices flowing, apparently. So let's put some of these onto blocks. Now these are D blocks. The stamp's really dirty. The block's really dirty. I must clean it. And that fits on there just nicely. And then I have this one here, which is the top of the house or shop. And then the others, I'm going to leave those alone for the moment, and I'm going to pick a couple of colours. Let's go with, I've been using a lot of blue lately, so I'm going to steer away from the blue, and I'm going to go with, should we go subtles? Let's go bubble bath. No, let's go fresh creature. Let's go balmy blue. They look nice together, and I feel like I need a green. Parakeet Party, that's very bright, but that's very nice. Yeah, let's go with those ones. So I'm going to start with my one in the middle, which is going to be Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to start with this little stamp, this little main shop stamp, and I'm going to put this in the middle. Like so. It's wonky, but hey, let's work with it. And then on the top of this one goes, if you line this up, you then get the top of the shop. That's really nice, isn't it? Let's have a little clean of my stamp, if I can find my stamp scrub. This one. Always make sure you clean your stamps. I use the stamp scrub and Stampin' Mist for mine. It helps keep your stamps in good condition, and it's cheaper than baby wipes and better for the environment. It's a win-win all round. It's one of the first things I bought, this stamp scrub. Let's clean that purple ink off of there. And then I'm going to go in with a different colour. Let's go in with some blue. Now this is a little bit wonky, so nice blue one. Give it a little clean again. Book fold card. Thank you, Jackie. I thought it was something like a book fold, but my mind boggles sometimes. And then let's go in with a green. Parakeet Party. Let's see what this comes out like. This is very bright, but not as bright as Lemon Lime Twist. Okay, so there's my little row of shops. Quite like that, quite happy with that. Now let's just clean this off. So that's my card. Let's grab a piece of, let's grab some card. Now this is Parakeet Party card. So let's cut this into a nice little card base. 14.9 and then score at 10.5. Okay, that's coming along nicely. So this is just a really straightforward flat card, simple stamping. Hi Darcy from Winnipeg, Canada. Nice to have you with us this afternoon. Well, it's this afternoon here. What time is it where you are? So there we have our flat houses. And in here you've got some other stamps. So I'm going to stamp a couple of those just on here. Let's go with the flower pot and the sign, shall we? Just woke up 6 a.m. there. That is early. So let's stamp this. I'm going to stamp this in the blue. No, I'm going to stamp it in the purple. Like so. And then the sign I'm going to stamp in blue. Oh, it's a bit iffy there. That's better. And there are dies to cut this out. You can, of course, use your snips for this and trim around, but I'm going to use the dies. We have dies, so why not? Let's use them. And this is my first time in my craft room since last Monday. It's been a really busy time here. But soon the summer holidays. We've not got long left. Just lining these up and just sticking them down with a little bit of washi tape. Let's just trim that up. And these dies will fit through the mini cut and emboss machine if you have that. I have it, but it's all the way over the other side of the room, so I'm going to use my big machine. So there we have a little flower pot, and there we have this sandwich board. So the sandwich board I'm going to put over here. I'm just using a little colour combination that I just plucked off of my shelf. We've got Balmy Blue, Parakeet Party and Fresh Freesia. Got that there. And our little flower pot can go over here. I'm going to put my sentiment in the middle there, I think. Always use the edges of your dimensionals. Did the sun finally arrive? It sure has, Sophie. It arrived earlier on this week. And then I also have here these little dies. And these little dies are really sweet. So I'm going to just... So I did this trick a little while ago. And I'm just going to take my ink pad. I'm just going to put it on my card. It's a bit messy, but to save you breaking into a piece of DSP, a piece of card that colour. If you've got a really small die, to get the matching colour, I've just added a bit of ink to the corner of my white card, and that's enough for my die to fit on. So it then gives you some coloured card. Let's just run that through as well. Also, if you don't have that matching card but you have the ink, it's another way of achieving the same look. So this is the little over the top veranda, is that the right word? No, canopy, that's the word I'm looking for. And now I want this one here. I could have done at the same time, but we're here. Hi Baz, nearly missed me again. Don't worry, I'll tell you a little secret. I didn't do this last week, so you didn't miss me at all. I had a meeting. So, was that last week or was it the week before? I don't know. All the weeks are starting to blend into one. So this little piece here goes together and you get a really sweet little canopy. I'm just going to attach this to that white one. And then that's going to sit just over the top, and it just brings that shop to life a little bit. Oops, I can't pick it up. I'm going to stick this down, but not with a dimensional. That's it, just like so. So let me know what you think so far. You could add a bit of colour to this if you wanted to with your Stampin' right markers, or you can leave it plain. You could use your blends, or you could use your watercolour pencils. I'm going to leave mine quite flat at the moment, and I want another little piece of that coloured card. Let's see if I've got some scrap here. Probably haven't, because it's not a colour that I use often. So now we want to write a little message, don't we? So I think I'm going to use this die. That would look quite nice on there, wouldn't it? And I'm going to cut that from this Parakeet Party card. Did I see your message about the taco stamp set? I think I did, Baz. I just haven't had a chance to do anything with it. But I'll have a look after this. That's why you didn't watch. That's right. So now we've got the same colour card as we have for the card base. So that's just bringing that together nicely. And I don't think that's too much of an overload of colour either. So now let's go in with our sentiment. And I think I'm going to put on here, shall I put happy birthday? Let's go for happy birthday, which is in the little box behind me, because I am preparing for a card class. I'm going to practice on the other side of this banner just to see what it comes out like. So I'm going to start with Parakeet Party as my ink, but I think I already know I'm not going to like that. See, that's quite nice, but actually I want a different look, so I'm going to use black instead. We've not got any black on this card, so hopefully it will help it pop a little bit. Just check that that stamps nicely. It does. And then let's put that in the centre of that banner. Perfect. And then that is our banner for our card, like that. So this is my really simple card. Let's put this on with dimensionals. I might put a little bit of twine under that just to bring in a bit of black and white. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just going to put this there like so. Fold it over, line it up, and put a bit more on. This is really old twine. I think this is from the Pets set that we had a few years ago. It's really handy. I'm happy with that. Now let's put on another little dimensional. Dimensionals really are your best friend. I'm going to put this on, and then I'm just going to trim those down a little bit. It's also helped hide how wonky that little shop was when I first put it on. And there we go. That's my first card today, which looks quite simple, but there is quite a bit going on there. And now I'm going to move on to my second card. And I think I have a good idea of where I want this card to take me. Right. So second card, I'm going to stamp my shop in black. Stamp it over here. So there's the bottom. It looks really nice in black. And then here is the top. And I'm going to stick with the same colour scheme on this card. Okay, I'm not going to deviate from those lovely colours, but I'm going to colour it in. I'm going to use a little bit of, I'm going to use some Stampin' blend pens for this. I'm going to colour this in. Do love colouring. It is definitely my technique of preference. Anything that needs colouring, I'm there. I'm starting off with my lighter shade. I tend to use the fine end first and then any bigger areas. I've only just started doing this recently. I will then go in with the sort of felt tip brush, and I actually like to have all my pen strokes going in the same direction. I don't go back and forth. I find you get a sort of scrubby look, and you use a lot of ink by doing it that way. And always take your time when you're colouring. I always think if something's worth doing well, it's worth sort of spending the time over it. And it does show. Okay, I'm just going over this sort of large main space. And there's a bit more there that I've missed. There's lots of different people out there doing lots of different things with colouring. Oh, Lucy, just seen that you're live on Facebook. Sorry I missed the beginning. Better late than never. Absolutely. I hope you're doing well. We are just, I am just having a little play with this Let's Go Shopping stamp set. I've missed this little section down here. Right, so I'm going to add in now a little bit of depth into my colouring image. I'm just going to bring you down a little bit so you can see my colouring in a bit more detail. Ooh, you're really wonky now. Okay, so I've done my first layer in light balmy blue. I'm now going to go over with dark, and I'm going to emphasise sort of key areas where I think the shadow is going to be, or where the depth is going to be. I'm just going around the edges. And with blends, the more layers of ink you put on, the darker it will get. So, and that's why it will take time to really colour an image well. And also remember that the ink will dry. It will dry lighter as it soaks into the card. And it doesn't soak in too much, but it will just get lighter. Don't be afraid as well to mix your colours. And I'll show you a bit more about that in a second. So you can see I'm starting to get a bit of depth in the corners and just at the bottom. And this is where the fine tip is really handy. How are we doing? Are we all still hanging on in there? I think I put on my notification for this video today, it's lunchtime stamping. So is anyone eating their lunch? Okay, so can you see that now? It's got a little bit of depth to it. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of, this is Azure Afternoon, and you'll see it's like a darker shade of Balmy Blue. And this is where using your colours that are close together can really change your colouring. I do this with my watercolour pencils as well. For those of you that don't know, I do actually offer a colouring class. My next one is the 15th of July, 14th of July. But can you see that's really taking shape now? I'm going to ignore the windows, and now I'm just going to go back over with the dark Balmy Blue to just blend all that together. Now let's think about the door. The door I'm going to do in Fresh Freesia. Is this Fresh Freesia? It is. So my door is going to be this lovely Fresh Freesia colour. I'll do the window. Should I do the window? I'm going to do these bits here. These little frilly bits can also be purple. This is a really nice colour combination, these two, Balmy Blue and Fresh Freesia. And it's probably one of those colour combinations you can add sort of anything you like to it and it'll look nice. Oh, me too, Lisa. I haven't had lunch today and I've got a big dinner planned, so I probably will just, well, I've had a Kit Kat. I broke into my customer stash. It's bad, isn't it? And I'm going to take some Highland Heather now, light Highland Heather, for a little bit of added detail on the door. Colour that in actually dark purple. And this is dark Highland Heather. I haven't got these shop stamps dies yet. Oh, I really like them, Lucy. This is my first time using the stamp set other than the sentiments, and I quite like it. So this is a light Fresh Freesia. So let's just go back in and blend that together. Perfect. Okay, so we've now got our door, and I'm going to add in some Parakeet Party. Now this is like the brightest green. I'm going to add this in for this section here. And who'd have thought that those colours would work so nicely together? I must admit, I was a bit dubious when I picked up the Parakeet Party because it's just not a colour that I use. Now you'll notice I've left the windows blank, and there is a reason for that, and I will show you that in a minute. Let's go for some Granny Apple Green. Oh, I've got a buzzy bee or a buzzy in here. Whether it's a fly or a bee, I'm not sure. Oh, and I need to go around the edge of the window. Let's go around that in green. Green or purple? Let's do it purple. Decisions, decisions. So Lucy, are these on your wish list or are you not that bothered by them? Let's Highland Heather. Fresh Freesia. And then the sign on the door I'm going to do, oh no, you see this down here as well. It's a really nice set to colour in. And then the sign on the door, let's do that blue. Okay, so there is my finished house or shop. It's not even a house, it's a shop. Right, so now I'm going to go in with some of the dies, okay? And I'm going to cut that out as one. I'm going to use these dies. So here I have this, and this die sits inside the window. I'm just using a bit of washi. When you use washi, just take the tackiness off of it by just sort of tapping your fingers against it on there. There's one for inside the door, and I know that's going to cut off our shop sign, but we're going to go with it. Okay. So that's inside there. And then there's one for inside these top windows. Let's trim this down. Should have done this first really, because these dies have moved. Have they moved? The window one down here has a little bit. They're fine, and that one's fine. So now I'm going to run it through my die machine. Ready for this? Sarah did a great live last week on this, did she? Oh, I'll have to go back and have a little watch. Right, so now we have our little shop that you can see through, and I wonder if anyone knows where I'm going with this now. I'm going to trim this down. The dies on this will cut out each section, so it will cut out the lower level and then it will cut the top level out, but I've added mine together. So when someone said Sarah did a great live on this last week, they are referring to Sarah Douglas, who is our CEO at Stampin' Up. Right, so I now have my little house, and I think this would make a great little Halloween house as well. But we're miles away from that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some of these. And I'm going to make myself a little shaker element. I'm going to run this. Oh no, don't put that on first, Stacey. Wait. You're jumping ahead of yourself. We need to cut ourselves a piece of acetate for this. So I'm going to stick this to this. Who else taps their glue? So this is just a piece of, I say acetate, it's actually a window sheet, which is what they're called in the Stampin' Up catalogue. And I'm going to stick this to this. trim around it. This is fine when you've got an image that's really easy to cut around. I'm excited to see this card come together now. You tap your glue? Yes, I love to tap my glue. Perfect. So now we have a little shop. And we can put... So these are foam adhesive strips, and they are just what you need when you are making a shaker card. And the trick to a shaker card is to make sure that there are no gaps in. You're basically creating an area where you're going to put some sequins or some embellishments, and they cannot get out. Okay, so these are great for doing just that width. I need a little bit more. When I first saw these, I thought they were quite pricey, but a little goes a really long way. I think this is the second packet I've ever bought, and I've been a demo for 10 years in October. So let's just take that out of there. Okay, so now we've got our sort of shaker element. I'm going to put that to one side now because I'm going to start to build my card. And sadly, I can't use that. I'm going to use a blue, balmy blue sheet of card, I think, if I have any. I do. And what a surprise, I'm using blue again. I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to cut me a nice little card base. I'm going to go 10.5. I don't make mini shaker cards. No, I don't, Baz. I won't lie. I love them. I just never really think to make them. They're also a lot of effort. And I'm not really I don't feel that I'm an effort card maker. Right. Do I put that against there, or do we put a different layer on it? I think I'm going to do a different layer. Let's go with white and do something to it. What I'm going to do to it though, I'm not sure. What is my favourite colour from the refresh? Oh, Courtney, that's a really good question. And a really tough question. My favourite colour, can I have two? My favourite colour from the in colours, the new in colours, there we go. Because we've got new in colours and new colours in our core collection. Like it, like it, like it. That needs something in the background though, doesn't it? Let's do a bit of embossing. Can't beat a bit of embossing, can we? And let's use this one. This one's a really nice embossing file. It's one of the basics online. So mine favourite in colour is boho blue. Surprise, surprise, I think it's everyone's favourite in colour. And my favourite new core colour, I think, is probably Pretty Peacock, because I was so excited to have it back. But of the brand new colours, it's got to be Bubble Bath, because you've all been missing a really nice baby pink for a little while, I think. Right, so that's going to go on there, and that's going to go on there. Better, much, much better. If in doubt, add an embossed layer. It just breaks it all up and gives you another little texture. They are, aren't they, Lucy? My brain doesn't go there. It definitely does not go there. So that's going to go on there. we need to put our sequins in. This is the fun part, all right? So the fun part with putting your sequins in is, one, to not make so much mess. Now, I've got some really old sequins on my desk. I can't even remember what these are called, but they were from the old catalogue. The ones that go with this set are loose silver sequins, and they're sort of iridescent and white, which are great, but I don't think you're going to see them very much on here. So I have these. These are green, these are pink, and these are blue. And I think I'm going to use the blue ones. I'm thrilled to have Pretty Peacock back too. So I want to mark just roughly where this is going to be. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to hold it down and then just slide my pencil in and mark on the card. So here, you can now see I've made some little marks, so I know to put my sequins there. Okay. Mix them. Oh, Baz, can't do that. That's like mixing Play-Doh. It's against all the rules of law. Okay, so now I'm just going to put my sequins in. And you can put as many or as few in as you want to. I can't believe you've just suggested mixing them, Baz. I don't think I can be friends with you anymore. My children are not allowed to play with Play-Doh because of that very reason. It's not allowed in the house. If anyone attempts to bring it in, if the girls get a present that's Play-Doh, it's not even allowed in the house. It goes straight to Darren's mum's house, my mother-in-law, and the girls can only play with it there. How mean am I? Okay, so now we've taken off the backing of the sticky strip, and now I'm going to put this on like so. You want to give it a nice firm press to make sure it's in place, and then look at that. Isn't it amazing? I could have put another strip in there and done some sequins up there, but I can't do that now because I would just get in an absolute mess. But that's a really good idea for next time. So now we just need to do a few little add-on pieces, which I have here. No, Baz, go away from the different colours. It's not my bag. Right, so I've now got a little bench that I can put on here. I could put it this side. No, it's not enough room. Let's put a little bench on. Oh, I also have here a little lamppost. How cute is the lamppost? Let's stick this down. See, if I'd have moved that over slightly, I'd have had room for the bench. Could I still put the bench there? Guess I could. We'll see. And then there's also these little trims. So this is like a little trim of foliage you can put on. I think I need to cut it. Oh no, I'm going to do it in that colour. So this is old olive. This has been cut out. See there. Old olive. So it's just a little bit darker. Lamppost is cute, yes. I'm just putting this on. This might have to be one of the cards in my card class. If anyone's watching, this might have to be included. So look at that. And then I've got my little... Oh, I know what I'm going to do that side. There's one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put my little bench on here. I'm going to use the same. So just a little note. These foam adhesive strips are a little bit thicker than dimensionals. So if I was to put a dimensional in, the dimensional wouldn't be tall enough. So I'm now having to use foam strips for this. It's going to go just there. just going to put a little bit of glue that side to stick that down. And then I've got one more thing to do. Oops. I've got the strip stuck to my hand now. And put it in a little pot. I'm going to stamp this. This is my little flower pot. And I'm going to do this in green. So this is light granny green, which is what I want. Oh yeah, let's do light granny green actually. Because then it's just a little bit of a different shade. Let's go in with a bit darker. So, has anyone that before we started thought this set is not for me and now they think, oh, that's quite cute? Or are people still on the fence about it? On the fence, that's funny, isn't it? And then this I'm going to stamp. I'm going to colour in crumb cake. Just the flower pot and crumb cake, and it just brings in that crumb cake from the bench. Me! Oh, good. I've done my job. I'm happy now. No, I'm joking. No. It's nice to see what people like the look of and what people are not sure about. And then I want my little flower pot die. Cut this out. I think this will just finish this off. We just need to add sentiment. Les boutiques. Yes, Sophie, les boutiques. This would make a really cute little Christmas card as well, a little Christmas shop. Okay, so here we have the little, now do I put that underneath to hide the lamppost? I think I do, because the lamppost is sticking out and it doesn't feel right. And I could put it there. Let's put it there. If we had done this card in Birmingham, I'd rush back home and order. Oh, please don't mention Birmingham. When is that? Next weekend, isn't it? So Birmingham is an event that my upline Michelle Last runs. And I sadly cannot go this year. I say sadly, I'm actually going on holiday with my family, so I'm not all that sad, but I'm sad not to be seeing people. Right, so now we need a sentiment. And I think what is going to finish this off really nicely is some heat embossing. It does mean I've got to find my heat tool, so just bear with me un momento. And where's my stamp set? Here he is. I feel like let's get together is not enough for this. Happy birthday, wish you were here. You are such a sweet treat. Or should it be happy birthday? Good luck. Let's do it as a good luck card. I know, Baz, it's because you are the #1 fan. Let's do that. Let's find the heat tool. And I promise you this will be worth the wait. So let's have some embossing. Powder mix, embossing tools. And I want some black cards. Now I had some black cards earlier. I nearly fell over my chair then. That would have been funny, wouldn't it? Okay, nearly been going with you for an hour as well. So I said half an hour to 40 minutes. And we've done the email, but this card, there's quite a lot to it, isn't there? So let's have Versamark. So I've just run my embossing buddy over it, just to take off any static. Stamping my sentiment with Versamark. It's brand new Versamark, so it makes a huge difference. And then I want white embossing powder. Oh, one day, Baz, one day. Use my little paintbrush. This embossing toolkit is really, really handy. Such a cute card. What's that say? Looking forward to seeing you next week. Me too, me too. Although you won't see me next week, I don't think, because I'm not going to Birmingham. Okay, so this could be for someone who's just starting on a new venture. And where did that little banner die go? It was one I just had, wasn't it? It wasn't a die that I had. Let's see if I can find that now. Here he is. No, that's not it, but let's use this one. It's a nice little shape, that one, actually. It's not the one I wanted, but we'll go with it. Right, now let's have a think about our sentiment placement. Kind of thought it could go there, but kind of don't like it. Oh, far too long, Lucy. Hope you can do Crowton. I think I can do Crowton. I'm going to trim this off. I think it's too long. So after all that banner cutting, I didn't like it. Much better. Much, much, much better. Let's put a little bit of glue there. I know it hides our step. And there we have our shaker card. All finished. I just need to do a little piece for inside. That's fine, that's big enough. And that is my card finished today. And let's just stick this in. I really love the colours on this card. The colours just make it, it's quite a non-traditional colour format for a building as well. I would normally have gone grey. Let's not cut it down too narrow. 10 by 14.4. That's better. Courtney, I've put you in a stamping mood, starting and wanting off here in the happiest of ways. Oh, that's really sweet. I hope you have a lovely day. I wonder what you're going to make. Do you have this set, or are you going to use something different? Right. So there we go, gang. There's my sequins. They're all there. I'm really, really pleased with that card. I think it's lovely. So that is my shaky card done. And this is my simple stamping card. So two very, very different looks with the same products. I've used the Let's Go Shopping stamp set and the matching dies. And then here I've just used the stamp. So this would be my simple stamping card. Not a lot going on, just stamp and ink and paper. And this one we've got a lot more going on. So do let me know in the comments if you have a favourite. As I said at the beginning of this video, everything I've used is available to purchase from my online store. You can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. If you're shopping with me in June, enter the shopping code below for a free gift. And if you're shopping with me not in June, go to my website and you'll find this month's code. So I will leave you all there. I hope you have a really enjoyable week. If you're here in the UK, I hope you manage to stay cool while this hot weather is here, and I hope you enjoy it. And I look forward to being live with you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.